What's going on, everyone? So, Zach Lavine and the Los Angeles Lakers are tied at the hip currently as far as potential trade partners. The Chicago Bulls, period, right? They're looking to unload Zach Lavine. The Lakers make a lot of sense for Zach Lavine. But beyond a Zach Lavine trade, right, they got to get more. It would be great if you could get Zach Lavine, but another guy that I've thrown out there because they need more than just a Zach Lavine. Zach Lavine solves a lot of the Lakers' problems, but doesn't solve all of their problems. They definitely still need another center. And the center that I've thrown out with hey, get a Lavine, go get an Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond, contract-wise, could easily be added on. He's not breaking the bank. He's not making a ton of money to where it's oh, how do you make that work? How do you figure that out? He's a guy that this year is on a player exercised contract of $3.3 million. So he's not, again, breaking the bank. He's not making $20 million. He's an expiring deal after this year. The Lakers could re-sign him, right? He had a stint with the Lakers in the past, and the Lakers wanted to re-sign him then, but he wanted max money. The Lakers didn't want to give him a max because they didn't want to be tied up in Andre Drummond, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James as all their max money. And people act like Andre Drummond was this dumpster fire for the Lakers when that really wasn't the case. I mean, the guy averaged a double-double for the Lakers in basically limited time with no experience with anything with these guys. Coming off of a buyout, only played, 20 games for us, 21 games for the Lakers, right? And in 25 minutes, gave you 12 points and 10 rebounds. That's pretty good, right? For considering he only played 20 games and was playing alongside Anthony Davis and stuff. And if Anthony Davis doesn't get hurt, the Lakers probably win the championship that year. Right? I mean, they were up 2-1 against the Phoenix Suns. They had no answer for him, for Anthony Davis, and looked like they were going to run away from it entirely. But he's a guy that is a veteran that can come in and solve a lot of the Lakers' issues, right? Rebounding, bench scoring, be another rim deterrent, right? Because he's got size. He's not this great defensive guy, don't get me wrong, but he is a guy that can absolutely, in a limited role, make a lot of sense. You could play him alongside AD. You could play him off the bench. He's only playing 15 minutes a game anyway for the Chicago Bulls. He started in 3 games for Chicago and has been just ridiculous in that stretch. I think Andre Drummond makes a world of sense for the Lakers. Even if the Lakers don't trade for Zach Lavine, I wouldn't mind if the Lakers just went and got Andre Drummond by himself. He's one of, if not the best backup centers in the league, right? He's basically changed his whole, character and question marks. I have a video, it's a YouTube short on this channel where Andre Drummond talked about where he was when he was with the Lakers and how he just thought he was this, God's gift to basketball, and he was very demanding and was basically a diva, and he had to humble himself, right? Took some humble pie for him to figure that out. And he's just in a completely different space now, and he has an understanding. He's bought into his role, and he wants to stay in this league, and he wants to win and do that stuff. It was very eye-opening in the world and in the psyche of Andre Drummond. And this is a guy, again, he's 30 years old, right? So he fits the timeline. I know it doesn't feel like he's 30. It feels like he's a lot older, but size, he's got athleticism, right? Another able body that you could throw on opposing teams' big men, right? The inevitable Jokic matchup. I really like the idea of bringing Andre Drummond back to the Lakers, right? I really think he's a guy that could just make a huge impact. And like I mentioned, you look the last 4 games, right? Because he's basically been starting and playing heavy minutes. Vu's been out, right? He, on December 26th to January 2nd, gave you 25 rebounds. Yes, 25 with 24 points. He gave Chicago 16 rebounds with 7 points on 3 of 9 from the field. Then he gave them 15 points and 23 rebounds on 6 of 8 from the field, 30 minutes. And then he gave them 11 and 17 rebounds. So in the last 4 games, he has averaged, 2 of those games have been against Philly, right? So in those last 4 games, he has averaged 25, 16, 23, and 17. He's averaging 20 rebounds a game the last 4 games in significant minutes, right? You don't think the Lakers could use that rebounding? You don't think the Lakers could use that rebounding desperately? Of course they can. Of course they need that, right? And again, this is a guy that he understands his role. He understands what he needs. He would be a major upgrade over Jackson Hayes, right? Now, because chances are the Lakers are going to end up trading Rui and like D'Lo and stuff, right? So if you could get an Andre Drummond, right? Remove everything else just for a moment. Let's just look at Andre Drummond. Go get Andre Drummond. Let's say you do trade Rui and you do trade D'Lo for whatever, right? You would have basically Christian Wood at the 4, Drummond at the 5 as like your main guys. And then you probably have either, because they'll probably start Taurean Prince still, right? Just because he's been so good shooting the basketball. So you probably have either Cam Reddish or a Jared Vanderbilt off the bench as like basically your bench front court, which would be fantastic. And then you'd have like a Max Christie and like a Gabe Vincent. That'd be excellent. That'd be one of the best benches in the league. I mean, the Lakers should be one of the best benches in the league right now too. And that's not counting Reeves. Obviously, we'll see if Reeves ends up moving in the starting unit or whatever, right? I'm just not mentioning Reeves in that just because who knows what's going to happen with Reeves as far as like, is he going to start? Is he going to come off the bench if they make a trade? We will see, right? But regardless, Andre Drummond is a guy that I really do think can make an impact, right? Last 2 years with Chicago, he's bought into his role. He's had a good understanding. He played 12 and 12, almost 13 minutes. We'll round it up to 13 minutes a game last year for them. This year, he's bumped it up to about 15 minutes a game. He's only taken, 4 to 5 field goal attempts per game. So he's not a guy that's going to be super demanding with the basketball, right? Guy, he doesn't shoot threes. So again, not going to stretch the floor or anything like that. But he is a guy that, can just go get you buckets, be a constant lob threat. Free throws are obviously an issue with him. It's always been something that he's had a problem with for his career. I mean, he's been one of the worst free throw shooters like in the history of the league. But again, you're not asking him to come in and play 30, 40 minutes a game, right? You're asking him to come in, play basically what he's doing for Chicago, 15 minutes a game. Come in, play 15 minutes, play in the minutes, backing up Anthony Davis, play minutes alongside Anthony Davis, let AD play the 4, right? So you could go Drummond, you could go AD, have those two play together. He has some chemistry, not a ton, but he has some chemistry playing alongside LeBron James, playing alongside Anthony Davis, which is good. So there might not be as much of a sort of a learning curve that he would have to have as some other players or some other centers might be coming in. He's a guy that understands and would accept his role. Lakers need guys like that. A veteran that is not going to, that is going to be able to come in and be professional and play the roles that are needed, right? This is a guy that, for even in the playoffs, has had some solid playoff years, right? His first year in the playoffs with Detroit, he averaged 17 points, 9 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks. The second year he was in the playoffs with Detroit, 14 and 13 rebounds, with 2.5 assists, 1.5 steals, and 1.3 blocks. That year with the Lakers in the playoffs, he played 21 minutes a game in that stretch, gave you 9 points and 11 rebounds with 1 steal and 1 block, right? I mean, that's good, right? And then in 2021, 2022 with Brooklyn, he basically played in like a very small, very minimal role. But even then, in the minimal role he was in, he gave you 4 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, 1.3 steals, and a block, right? So again, if he could come in and just give us even half of what he's averaging he's only averaging 7 points and 8 rebounds. If he could come in and give you that is perfect. That is all the Lakers need. Is somebody that could give you like 8 to 10 rebounds on any given night and limited minutes and give you like 7 points, right? Perfect, right? Even if he doesn't give you a point, right? Even if all he's doing is just going in there and blocking shots, creating steals, and rebounding the basketball. Again, he's averaging 1.2 steals this season and then half a block a game in limited minutes. Give me that. Give me a steal, give me a block, and give me 8 rebounds a game. And then whatever offense you give me is just money, right? Now, I do think he'll give you some offense, but again, it's more of like we need somebody that can help in the rebounding department so we're not just getting torched on the boards game in and game out. Andre Drummond can do that. So anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think, yes, go get Andre Drummond? Do you think, no, stay away from Andre Drummond? Go get somebody else? Do you want Andre Drummond as part of like the Lavine deal? Would you trade for Drummond independently, like by himself? He's just been rebounding like a madman, and the Lakers could desperately use that. But anyway, again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.